This is the moment we've all been waiting for, everyone. We've been talking about this movie all year long. One of the most anticipated films of 2026 is finally here. We get our questions answered, and we have new questions to ask, but we're going to talk about it. This is our spoiler review of Spider Man Brand New Day. I am Kerwin. This is Keith. You're watching Father.Son.Galaxy. We are coming to you live. This is so big, we had to do this live. Now, of course, if we're talking comic book films, we are speaking with the comic book gurus, Craig Liggeons, Rob Templeton. Welcome to Father.Son.Galaxy.
Thank you for having us back, guys, on such a momentous occasion.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Keith. I'm going to give you the honor. I want to start off, we've been asking this question all year long. Who is Sadie Sink playing? I'm going to give you the honor to let us know. Tell everyone. This is a spoiler review, by the way, everybody. Let me just say that this is a spoiler review.
Before we get into it, we're going
to say that.
Spoil the entire thing.
That's right. So if you have not seen the film, you don't want to be spoiled. You don't want to watch it. But if you don't mind, if you've seen it, here we go.
Just get ready. But let's be honest, you probably already know. It's Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Okay. Thank you so much.
It's the most villainous Jean Grey I've ever seen.
Wow. Okay. Wow. We're going to talk about it. Okay. Why did the fans get it right? What gave it away? Did you think she was playing anyone else? Craig, let's start with you.
Well, what gave it away was the red hair, because Sadie Sink is a natural redhead, and the most famous redhead in the Marvel universe is Jean Grey. What I was thinking was because in this universe there are no X-Men, but in this universe we know we have Peter's girlfriend, MJ, and Michelle Jones. But I thought because Sadie Sink had red hair and she was in this film with a big part, that she would be Mary Jane Watson, because we don't have a Mary Jane Watson in this universe. So that's what I was thinking. But when I heard that she was going to be a villain, and again, something that was said before we went on the air, exclusivity is dead. Everyone was Sadie Sink's going to play a villain in this. Okay, well then who could she play? And then everything went to Jean Grey, and maybe the worst kept secret in cinema history.
Rob, did you think she was playing Jean Grey, or did you think?
Yeah, but I thought it I look at it differently. I know that they're bringing the X-Men back, but I know that the Fox X-Men are only coming back for this 2-film thing, and then they're going away. Now, if you go back to Endgame, when they find when they're talking about, they find where planet the Thanos is on. Mm-hmm. Rocket says that when the glove was snapped, that we had a thing of power that went across the earth that we never experienced before, causing changes and I'm like, that's the mutants. So they had to bring the mutants in soon, and they had to bring them in a young form. So therefore, that's who I thought it was. And the best thing about this is, if you go to the Avengers, the reason the Avengers worked was because we learned who they were one at a time before the Avengers movie. So I think we're going to see X-Men popping up in different things before we get an X-Men movie.
All right. Keith, I'm going to ask you this question. So Jean Grey, as we know, is a mutant with psionic powers, telekinesis, and telepathy. She was introduced in X-Men #1 back in September of 1963. And in this film, she has the ability to jump into total strangers and possess their mind, and then just leave and, move on to the next person. How did you think Sadie Sink performed in this movie? Do you think she did a good job?
I think she was cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say her performance was bad. I quite enjoyed it, but she's playing a villain, right? Like this is
That bothers
not
you?
Jean Grey, because I'm thinking back, right? And I remember there's this one scene where she's just possessing these random people walking up and down the street, right? And then there's this construction worker, and she possesses him, and she's talking to Peter, and she's like, "Yeah, well, you better catch me, I'm fast." And then the guy that she's controlling backs up into traffic and gets hit by a taxi. So that guy is completely dead for no reason, because she felt like it.
Yes.
That is
But
true. Yeah, go ahead, Craig.
I was going to say, the reason why she's seen as a villain in this is because of damage control. Now
Yeah.
talking about people we've seen before, in She-Hulk and in Ms. Marvel and in Wonder Man, a show that we talked about extensively. Damage control has gone from repairing damage done by superhero battles to just hunting all enhanced individuals. And
Yeah, but none of them
now,
are villains.
specifically mutants. Her sister was killed by damage control. That's where her rage comes from. So her being a villain
She's
is
killing
only
people that had nothing to do with that.
what?
That's kind of the issue here, you know.
Well, what I guess what Keith's saying is we didn't know up until
Then, yeah.
third act.
She didn't
that
know
she
either
had a
up
sister.
until that point
That-
that her sister was dead.
Right. We didn't know that she had a sister, and that was her motivation for doing what she was doing. But in the process, there are innocent people whose lives are at stake, and we don't know whether these people suffered any type of mental instability for having somebody just come into you and just possess you and then walk away. And
I'll tell you what I think, right? So she possessed Scorpion, right? He's a villain, so he's a little bit different. But the way Spider-Man was just genuinely putting him into the floor, he could have genuinely died, and that would have been Jean Grey's fault, right? Like, she did possess him into fighting Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man kind of lost it a little bit, and then threw the guy into a police car, right? So if he died there, that would have been on her.
I agree, and the guy that was hit by the truck is on her. So but yes, we find out later that the reason why she was a villain in this, because what gets me is that all the Spider-Man villains is in this latest one, because Jean Grey and Peter Parker or Phoenix and Spider-Man had little to no interaction in the comic books. They know each other, but they never had any type of relationship. But this version of Jean Grey, we see is a very troubled person. It reminded me a lot of the ending of the Thunderbolts, where you're dealing with someone's mental illness and their emotional baggage that they carry. And the way they portrayed this Jean Grey is unlike any we've ever seen in any X-Men movie. She was doing the same thing that we saw Professor X do in the very first X-Men, when she was talking, when Professor X was talking and it was coming through somebody else's voice. That was done, if you remember the scene in X-Men when Sabretooth and Toad turned on Magneto and said, "Let them go, Eric. You've done enough damage." And it was Charles Xavier, like, blocks away, controlling both of them. We hadn't seen that since the original X-Men. So this was a part of Jean Grey we hadn't seen before.
This is what you have to remember. You have to remember that Marvel has no straight up villains. There are none.
Ultron.
All the main villains are misguided villains. They're all doing something because they think it's the right thing to do, but they're going about fixing it in the wrong way.
Or Hela.
Yeah, Hela was. Okay. And I agree. Ultron was.
Yeah, definitely Ultron. He was in it for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But he thought he was going to save the Earth. Thanos thought, that if he killed half of the universe, that it's not really said until you watch the Eternals that Celestials can't be born out of a planet until there's a certain amount of people on the planet. So Thanos was trying to cut everything in half so they wouldn't be born. So again, it's this misguided view of I'm trying to do the right thing, I'm just going about it the wrong way. But also, the mutants have always been fighting. they always fight against the people that are against them. It's the way read those books. You know, they're like their own little army. You know, so yeah, Jean Grey had a reason for doing what she was doing, and there was collateral damage, which in all these cases, even with the Punisher, there's collateral damage to everything he's trying to do that he thinks is the right thing to do.
Now, regarding her powers, are they in line with the powers she has in the comics, or did you think
Yes.
she
Yes.
was
Yes.
pretty
Yes.
much okay?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
She's
All right.
the second most
The only
powerful
difference,
mutant ever.
the only difference is that in the comic book, Professor X was helping her hone
Yeah.
those abilities, you know, and she hasn't experienced that yet. Now, there's a big
I think
controversy. Hey, hang on. There's a big controversy. Craig believes one thing. I don't believe it. Everybody says when she leaves on the bus, she's going to Westchester because they saw trees.
that's what I said.
And I'm like, no, I don't buy that.
Where else would she be
just
going?
because there's trees doesn't mean she's going to Professor X's mansion.
Where else would she be going then?
Who knows?
She's gone to
We
Westchester.
haven't written it yet.
She's gone to Westchester. She's going to say.
You don't know that.
Watch.
No, we don't know that, but it makes sense to me. That would be
Sure,
you know,
it could
like
be.
she's going upstate New York, so it would make sense.
Mhm.
That's where she would be heading to, but you know, we don't know for sure. That's
No.
a very good question. That's one of the questions I guess we'll have to wait to find out what
Yes.
that, you know, where she's going. But
Because
what did you
she's
think
gonna
of Sadie
turn up-
Sink's-
She's going to turn up in Secret Wars.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I think she's also in. Am I correct me
I
if I'm
don't
wrong?
think she's in Doomsday.
She's not in Doomsday.
Oh,
No.
so okay,
Oh, really?
okay. For some
Yeah.
reason, I thought she was going to
Really?
be in Doomsday.
No, she
Okay.
only signed a 2-picture deal so far. It was Spider-Man and Secret Wars. That's
And
it.
Spider-Man
Got it.
signed, and Tom Holland signed a 3-picture deal, which is 2 more Spider-Man movies and
And then-
Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And what did you think of Sadie Sink's performance?
I loved her.
She's great in everything. You know?
I think she
Yeah,
was
I agree.
way better young Jean Grey than the chick from Game of Thrones.
Sophie Turner.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I
Yeah.
just didn't. I didn't buy it. But this I buy.
All right, sounds
Yeah.
good.
She was
She's
great.
still a villain.
Yeah. Well,
not a
okay,
villain.
it's okay.
A misguided
but-
hero.
She's not a
Is the
villain.
Punisher a villain?
An anti-hero.
Yes, Punisher's definitely a villain. Well,
Is
at
he?
least in Daredevil season 2, he's a villain, right?
Yeah, but okay, but what about an
He's
anti-hero?
lessened up a little bit.
He's lessened up a little bit. Okay.
No,
but
but-
he's had 10 years to lighten up. You know,
You know
he
who?
got his own show, 2 seasons, and then he's in Spider-Man. He's in Born Again. He's had a lot of time.
Keith, he's a villain to bad guys. That's the only person he's a villain to. He's a villain to superheroes, namely Daredevil, for wanting to kill everyone, and Spider-Man trying to stop him. But he's a villain to bad guys. He's not a villain. He doesn't kill people
I say
that
he's
don't deserve it.
villainous. I say now he's an anti-hero, but if we were seeing Daredevil season 2, he was definitely a villain. But then,
Again,
you
I
know,
don't think
I
he's
just see
ever
more of
been
him.
a
And he
villain.
becomes an anti-hero. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, but he's still not a villain.
He's a misguided
Yeah,
hero.
not anymore.
A misguided hero.
Yeah, he's not a hero. He's definitely not a hero.
He's not a
That's
villain.
not true.
He's a hero definitely in this film.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a hero in this film.
Well, he didn't
Yeah.
kill anybody in this film, but he has.
Well, okay,
His kill counts at
It-
like in the hundreds.
it's self-defense.
Yes, and again,
So it's
he's-
like he starts as a villain, right?
Yeah.
Because he was just gunning down people, right? Turning whole crime scenes. That's how that started. And then he shot Daredevil and broke his helmet, right? And
Yeah.
then you see more of him. You get his 2 seasons. He's more of an anti-hero by then.
Yeah.
So I'd still say he's there, right?
Okay. But as far as a movie, Spider-Man, is he a hero?
He's heroic. I wouldn't call him a hero.
he's a
Okay.
hero.
All right. Very good.
But he's a
That's
soldier.
This doesn't change my
He's
point
a
of Jean Grey
soldier.
being a villain, by the way.
He's a soldier in a war. And are we going to say that any wars, I'm not going to pick a war in case somebody that is still alive that was from a war. Like, I've never been in a war, but I know that You got to kill people. You don't want to, but you got to. That doesn't make you a villain. It makes you a soldier.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, he was hunting down people who pose no threat to him
All right.
in season 2. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about Spider-Man now.
Okay.
Thank you, Kerwin.
All right. So, Tom Holland. So, where we left off
That's
with
my dog right there.
Yeah, where we left off with No Way Home. Obviously, no one knows who Peter Parker is. Doctor Strange cast that spell, and my guy is just going around, and he is missing his friends. He's lonely, but he's puts all of his energy into his work. And he is actually, and this was pretty cool. He's still fighting crime, and he's working with a police detective, which was very nice. Detective Jean DeWolf, which is actually a character in the comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's an NYPD police. Well, in the comic book, she was an NYPD police captain. Yes. In the movie, she's a detective, but they're working together. Lisa Colón-Zayas, fantastic actor.
Perfect. Emmy winner. Yes.
I think this was Tom Holland's best performance.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about Tom Holland and what he brought to this role, and how did he grow from being Peter Parker in the first movie to this adult Peter Parker?
I like the fact that there's no school involved in it. It's not really, except for when he goes to see Bruce Banner. But there's no, we've jumped 4 years. The last movie ended, they were trying to go get into college. That was what was going on in the last movie. Now, it's 4 years later, they're all about 21 years old, and they're out of school. They're back in New York. They're out of college, and he's been Spider-Man for 4 years because he has nothing else to do. I don't know how he makes money to pay his rent, but, I thought about that, but I'm like, okay, they're not going to show that, because they didn't show J. Jonah Jameson, so he's not taking pictures, or they're not telling us that. But anyway, I like the fact that this got us away from the high school, and I'm glad it didn't go into the college.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that.
What do you think of Tom Holland's performance?
This was his best performance as Spider-Man. And I say that, Kerwin, after every Spider-Man film, because we've literally seen him grow up, in these movies. When we first saw him in Civil War, he was 19, and he's 30 now, and you can see how much he's grown emotionally and physically. Because you saw how jacked he was when he came out the web and he was hanging, down the alley,
Yeah.
But this was a great performance from him because we got to see what he's been going through the last 4 years, how he's putting everything into being Spider-Man. This is the most Spider-Man we've ever seen him. He wore, the criticism was he's always without his mask. He wore his mask for like 90% of the movie in this, and he barely, took it off because he's more spider than man now, which is why his arachnid levels were going off the charts, and he was, turning into more or less a spider.
It was a hormonal thing.
Yeah, it was a hormonal thing, and that same thing that affected Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man for a time when he lost his powers. But that's what was best about this movie, and he's got the two biggest movies of 2026 right now. Both of his movies have grossed over $1 billion already. So right now, Tom Holland is the biggest star in Hollywood. So
Tom Holland's set for life.
So are you guys ready for a theory?
Here we go.
Sure.
Are you ready for one of my theories?
Let's hear it.
Okay. So you got 2 more Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. And the last one is going to be him kind of mentoring somebody. Probably Miles Morales. We're probably going to get that. Okay. What we're going to get next, we're going to get Secret Wars. And I know they're going by the Hickman Secret Wars, and that's fine. But if you go to the original Secret Wars, the one that came out in the 80s, right?
Yep.
That is where all the heroes went to a machine, and it repaired all their suits. And Spider-Man went to a different machine, and it was Venom. And that's how we got Venom. That was the first appearance.
He got the black suit.
the
That's
black
what I'm
suit.
talking about.
Yeah.
Here's my theory. My theory is in Secret Wars, because Tom Holland has said the villain he most wants to fight is Venom. So I think Secret Wars is going to happen, just like in the comic book. That's when he's going to connect with Venom. Maybe not even know. But then the next Spider-Man movie will be a Venom Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
With Miles Morales helping him. And the last Spider-Man Tom Holland movie will be Tom Holland giving up the mantle, basically.
Yeah, like Spider-Man.
He'll be the man in the chair. He'll like his buddy, you know. He'll be the man in the chair.
You think they're gonna put Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 5?
Oh, that's another thing I heard. You know the place he was living in. The blonde-haired woman,
the neighbor
that he ended up taking her clothes.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that she is the
Gwen Stacy. Say it.
That's Gwen Stacy, and she's.
I'm hearing she's
Spider-Woman.
Black Cat.
Because she in the cast in the credits, she was just known as Apartment Girl. She wasn't given a name.
Right.
So now
But
everyone's
I heard that maybe, but this other thing is totally mine. And
Wow,
Craig can
that's
tell you,
exciting.
I'm already 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Well, I want to go back to what you said, Rob, which I think you're on point, because the end credit scene, or whatever you want to call it, there's a Spidey tracker. We can jump ahead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we have the Spidey tracker, and we see that Spider-Man at one point is on Earth. Then all of a sudden he disappears, and he shows up
in space.
Right. Off world. So I'm
he's on Battle World. That's what's happening right
exactly. There. Yeah. So it seems to me that he will definitely be in Secret Wars. So that's clear, right? Yeah. If anybody's read the comic books, Rob just says, so there is a Secret Wars that came out in 1984, and I believe there was one in 2015. I think they probably will take a little from both series, but they absolutely have to include the black suit, though. What are you going to say, Craig?
Wouldn't that be the best? Hang on, Craig. Wouldn't that be the best if that's how they introduced Venom to Peter?
Yeah.
Like a throwback to the original Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. Finger up, Craig. Go ahead.
Go, Craig.
My thing is here. Well, here's my theory on the end credit thing. Yes, we saw Spider-Man in space. Who said it was Tom Holland's Spider-Man in space? If this is taking place after Doomsday and before Secret War, this could be in outer space in a different time. So it's just a Spider-Man tracker. Who's to say this isn't Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that we're seeing?
The answer to that,
interesting.
I like that.
I'm not saying I've heard that too. But the thing is, it's showing that there is no Spider-Man
on
Earth. There's no sign of him. Spidey tracker, the Queens, whatever, wherever he is, there's nothing. So, and so I do think it's Battle World, and I think by that point, when that's happening, our Earth doesn't exist anymore, because Battle World is a patch world of different multiverse planets.
Okay.
So
from the incursions.
From the incursions, Doom will put together a patchwork planet. Like in the comic book, there was part of the world was the Marvel Zombies. A part of it were all the Hulks, which I heard is going to happen. A part of it is Thor Corps, So each part of the planet is like its own entity.
Oh, so we'd be getting a bunch of like the what if worlds in there, probably.
Exactly.
Yes.
I hope it's not the bad ones, like some bad episode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good episode, actually.
All of them were good.
We're not gonna bash What If, are we?
Yeah, we're not gonna bash What If.
I like the Doctor Strange one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But yeah, maybe we'll get. Actually, he's dead. But some of the other What If characters, the cool ones in there.
Yeah, that's
like Storm.
Yeah, Craig, what you're saying about we don't know which Spider-Man is going to appear at Battleworld. That's pretty cool.
That's
we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, it says Spider-Man will return, but didn't say which Spider-Man, didn't say where he was going to return.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, very good. Now, this film, it's got a lot of action sequences, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about our favorite action sequences a little bit later, but I want to talk about the personal moments, the relationships that Peter had throughout the film. So I want to start with Peter and Frank Castle.
Yeah, the best part of the film.
Yeah.
There's no way you could change my mind. Frank Castle was a much needed inclusion.
Talk about it. Okay.
Now,
all right. That's it? John Berthel, right?
Shout out to John Berthel. I'm trying to have you on the show, man. Find me.
Yeah.
I'll be in Boston in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I never laughed at a Spider-Man movie. I laughed. The lines between them were brilliant. It's like an older brother and a younger brother.
Yeah.
I really don't laugh much at shows these days. This was funny.
Yeah.
This had me laughing.
Oh, they were
had my theater laughing.
Yeah. What'd you think, Craig?
I loved it. You saw a lot of the and for what I understand from the director Destin Cretton, a lot of it was improv because John Bernthal and Tom Holland go way back. It was John Bernthal who made when Tom Holland auditioned for Spider-Man. It was John Bernthal that held the camera and had him do the and when John Bernthal
find that out from that trivia video.
Yeah, this was like when Spider-Man first started. His audition tape. John Bernthal was the one holding the camera, and when John Bernthal auditioned for Punisher, guess who was holding the camera for his audition tape? Tom Holland. So what you saw in the film was those guys riffing off each other. And what makes it great because Spider-Man's been doing this for 4 years, so he's obviously run into Frank a lot, because they're on a first name basis and everything. And the argument they had about we still don't know what happened on Staten Island. Obviously, Spider-Man saved his life, but Punisher doesn't want to admit it. So them going back and forth in front of MJ, that was all improvised. When say, okay, so what happened to Staten Island? I know what happened to Staten Island, Frank.
That reminds me of the Hawkeye and Black Widow thing when they would say, "Oh, this reminds me of." We have two different points of view of that.
Yeah. You and I remember.
They definitely have a history.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were great. We'd never had a buddy cop, type relationship in a Spider-Man film, but they were great.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Peter and Bruce Banner. All right, we got Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you honestly, I don't know if we needed the Hulk in this film, but it still is great to see him because he looks better than ever. But what do you think of having
he's back?
Bruce Banner?
Thought he was going to be more pivotal.
Okay,
because of how they were framing him in the trailers. You know, he was in every trailer. Hulking out. But he was only really in like 3 scenes. I think they were big scenes. They were big set pieces.
I think they had to do it as a vehicle to get him back as the brutal Hulk, and that's all it was. It was like, let's get him crazy, let's get him to be the Savage Hulk. So we don't have to have him in a lot. We just got to boom, 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 and now he's in a mental hospital. I love that too. I was laughing my butt off, and they were taking him to a mental hospital.
Why is that funny?
That's an interesting thing to laugh at, man.
You know why it's funny? I'll tell you why it's funny. Because in the comic books, okay, there was a time when the Hulk had Bruce Banner's brain. And when he reverted to Bruce Banner, he was the Hulk, had the Hulk's brain. And they had him in a straitjacket, and they had him in a rubber room, and they pushed him down because he was Banner, and he went, Hulk's butt hurt. And that was really funny. And seeing him go to a psych ward is just like, oh yeah, That
Yeah,
could be really cool.
maybe his butt'll hurt. Anyway, the reason why I think the Hulk was in it only because it was always good to see Mark Ruffalo, but the sole purpose I think was 2 words: inhibitor chip. And let me
Yep.
explain. When we saw Bruce, because we saw it a little in She-Hulk, he had had it on his arm to rehabilitate
Yeah.
it, but also to regulate his emotional and his stress. Well,
Yep.
Peter worked on the inhibitor chip, and in a way to suppress the Hulk, and a way to suppress Jean Grey's power. After the big battle he had with Spider-Man had with Hulk, and Hulk turned back into Bruce, Damage Control took the inhibitor chip. That's what they're going to use when we see the collars around mutants' necks that we saw in Days of Future Past, that we saw in the first Deadpool
What if
movie.
we see the Sentinels with those?
Without the yes, well, we're going to see Sentinels later, but that's what I'm saying. This is what will start. What I believe will start
Well,
the mutant because after
Saga.
after the Jean Grey incident, there is going to be a resentment and a hatred towards mutants because of what this will be like the
sure.
second incident in New York.
I wouldn't
But
be surprised.
but because they have Peter's inhibitor chip now, that's what's going to give Damage Control more, not only to hunt mutants, but now they can take away their powers as well. Thanks
What
to
if
Peter.
I thought
Trask?
they crushed it.
What if
That's
Trask worked for Damage Control?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I thought they crushed it. Either that or it blew up when Sadie sang, all
No,
over the room.
that they still have it. They have because we don't know what happened to Richard Metzger, the great Trammell Tillman, who
Richard.
we know as Mr. Milchek in Severance. He disappeared, so he's going to continue his anti-mutant agenda. Now I'm going to sound like Rob. In the comic books, he was an anti-mutant terrorist. So
Yeah,
having him
killed by
run Damage
Magneto.
Control and specifically going after mutants, and he escaped after the Spider Hulk battle. He'll be back, and whatever we'll see a mutant, like Rob said at the beginning, we'll see mutants pop up in different Marvel projects. We're going to see him.
I believe it.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Okay. How about Florence Pugh?
Pew!
Oh,
We get Yelena show up. That was pretty interesting. Now, I heard maybe like a week or two before the film came out that she was going to be in it.
I thought people would just Stark Ravens, but
Right.
apparently
But
it's real.
I think they used her very well. I mean, it wasn't much to see of her, but I think the scenes that she was in, she
just
really
watch Oppenheimer.
so memorable. Yeah.
Just watch Oppenheimer now.
Yeah.
Well,
Remember Oppenheimer? She
Yeah.
was in Oppenheimer.
And I think she addressed Peter's loneliness more than anyone else did, and because Peter had absolutely no one to talk to, but she is someone who understood, and talking to Peter about this is small potatoes. We deal with larger things, and that's kind of a foreshadowing for Doomsday.
Yeah.
When she was helping him out, but still this was the only person Peter had to talk to that knows his life, that knows the superhero biz. So I thought she was very well needed, and again, just only 2 scenes, but they were perfect. Even if she wasn't naked, it would have been perfect because she addressed Peter's loneliness.
Thank you, Craig.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, I mean, she does her work in
In a hot tub of all
hot
places.
tub. Yeah, so I guess to each his own.
Hot tub.
She has an entire Avengers tower.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's not, there, but
I don't know.
She
Maybe
needs to
she's
get
not
away.
getting along with the rest
maybe
of
they
the
had
Avengers.
to sell it.
Yeah.
I think this is going in a very different direction right now.
No. We're going to bring it right back.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. So, look, the heart of the movie, all right, the heart of the film is Peter and MJ.
Yes.
This is, again, Peter is trying to figure out how am I going to get back with MJ.
A poor guy can't catch a break, bro.
Let's talk about Zendaya's performance and Tom Holland. There was this moment where Peter thought he was doing a good thing. He came in through the window and he told MJ, "You got to come with me. You're in danger." And she says, "Well, what are you talking about? I'm not going with you." And he convinces her to go, which I thought was strange because, okay, well, Spider-Man just walks into your through your window and he wants you to come with him. She didn't give any pushback. And I thought
Spider-Man's like
odd.
The president, like if the president walked into your room and he was like, "You gotta come with me, you're in danger," you would go, right? Because Spider-Man's a respected figure.
I still be a little cautious.
If he was kidnapping people, I feel like that would
come with me if you want to live.
Yeah,
exactly.
But keep in mind, she already knows Spider-Man. She doesn't know who Peter Parker is. She's been saved by Spider-Man. She's had interactions with Spider-Man.
Which
so
she brought up.
Her going with him makes sense because she's had history with Spider-Man going back 4 years.
Right.
So
okay. All right.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, then he picks her up and he takes her to, trying to get her to Frank Castle's place. Mm-hmm. And they have this moment where MJ starts to realize, okay, well, this is Peter. I remember you now. And, and Peter's falling for it. And, she pulls up his mask and, and
Tobey Maguire.
She's just bringing him in. And then we find out that it's not even MJ that is doing the talking.
Yes.
It is Jean Grey.
And I'm telling you, this was the moment when I was like, this is a villain right here. Yeah. Because she violated both of them, right? That's horrible. I don't forgive her for that.
Yeah. And I just thought, something
that feels too far.
I don't know the exact words that Peter said, but it was very powerful. And he said to her, "Well, if you had someone who loved you as much as the way I love MJ, you would know what you did was wrong. You're a monster."
Right.
And that was a brilliant performance. And of course, with Zendaya playing someone else, it was wonderful. But talk about, this relationship. It's like the core of the film, right?
It was.
Chemistry. Always talk about chemistry, story. How important chemistry is. Mm-hmm. These two have chemistry off the charts. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, and off the camera.
Again, this movie does not work if we don't believe these two, whether they're apart
or won't
together. Yes, exactly. It doesn't matter, but it's just their chemistry is just amazing. But let's talk about their performances.
Remember something. I just kind of crossed my mind as we were talking. Jean Grey gets into like threesome situations all the time. Wolverine and Cyclops and her, and now MJ and Peter and her.
Yeah, but that's different because neither of them wanted Jean Grey to be there. You know what I'm saying?
But like she likes to be in that kind of situation.
I exactly hear what you're saying, guys, because I think because that was the only way Jean Grey could get in. She got into everyone else's head, everyone else's mind except Peter's. And this is the only way that she could. And yes, she violated, a non-consensual kiss for both of them. But that was Jean kissing Peter to get into Peter's head because that's the only way that she could. The redemption arc, though, was the best part. And with this was Tom Holland and Zendaya's first movie as a married couple. And you can really see that come off screen. And even when MJ gave Zendaya gave the monologue, similar to what Gamora said to Peter Quill at the end of Guardians 3. I know who you fall in love with, but that's not me. And, even seeing the heartbreak in Tom Holland's face when she said those words. But the redemption, after Peter was shot by the Punisher, it was Jean Grey that kept Peter alive. Because if you go back and watch the movie again, and I'm sure you will, as I will, when Jean was breathing for Peter, she had her head against and she was breathing for Peter. So when she made that final breath, that's when Peter woke up. And when he woke up, Jean let go. So she was keeping Peter alive. And because she also inhabited MJ and got to see inside Peter's mind, she could also get inside MJ's. So that's unlocked a thing in MJ's heart, because you saw she still had the necklace, and she went back to the rooftop where she that she didn't remember before. She knows she was up there with Ned, but she doesn't remember Peter. But now I think because of Jean's connection with Peter, now she does. So we'll see. You're saying, oh, will they or won't they? They won't. Now that Jean has unlocked Peter's psyche, and now MJ has, after that, when, sorry, I'm going all over the place, but when she hit the giant sonic blast and stopped everyone in their tracks, MJ had tears down her eyes because she could see, that's when she remembered Peter.
When, this is my take, I'll take it a little further than you. I think when she is in people's minds and she can see different things, I think she had the ability to unlock a few memories for certain people. And she gave MJ the memory of the necklace and the rooftop, and she gave Ned the hand thing, It's certain things she's giving them back, so it's a road to them becoming who they were with their memories.
I will say, I think Ned remembers because I believe what Ned's grandma said in No Way Home, that Ned was magic, and Ned had a little magic because he could do the thing with Doctor Strange and with the ring, and she said in Filipino, but she said you've always had the magic in you. So I think it was easier for Ned to have it than for MJ to remember Peter like that.
Ned's always been a special one, so I'm really glad that at least somebody remembers him. But I am interested to see.
Does he remember him? Because he says Peter, but he already knew Spider-Man was Peter because MJ said it.
But I don't know if you put two and two together that Peter was also his best friend.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was until what Keith is saying at the very end of the movie when they do that secret handshake.
Yeah, he's like, Peter, like
something
realization.
Unlocks something in his mind.
Because he's like remembering it, the memories, they're all coming back.
Right.
But Jean Grey might still be a villain, but there's a simple way to work back from being a villain to being a hero.
You gotta let that go.
She's not.
She's not a villain. Let it go.
You can be a villain and redeem yourself.
Let it go. It's not. She's not a villain.
To being a hero.
She saved Spider-Man's life. She's not a villain.
She's a villain. Okay, I'm almost certain there's villains who have saved heroes' lives. The Joker has saved Batman's life, right? But that's just because Joker doesn't want to see Batman die, right? I'm not saying Sadie Sink's the Joker, but what I am saying is that villains save heroes all the time, right? So,
no, they don't. No, they don't.
I think you're stretching it. You're doing a Mr. Fantastic, and you're stretching.
He's still a villain, by the way. She threw a guy in front of a taxi.
Yeah, I know, but okay, but can we? She
was playing mind games with Peter Parker, where she could have just walked into the damage control building, mind controlled the guy, got the information she needed.
Yeah. Well, this is a good point. I think this is where we should bring up why she did the things she did.
What was her motivation? Everybody
we found out,
except for just the people that caused it.
We found out that Jean has a sister, all right, Sarah, an older sister apparently who has the same abilities as she does. Actually, I think her
stronger.
Right, I think her
force runs strong in their family.
Stronger with the powers, and she's teaching Jean how to use them. So, but there was a very emotional moment when we saw the flashback of Jean and her sister in the park, and they're watching this mother with a child. And we we understand that the two of them are actually abandoned by their mother because
once
of
they got
abilities.
their powers.
Yes, right.
So, they only have each other.
Right.
And they're looking at these people, practicing the mind powers and everything. And then I keep wanting to call her Max. Jean asked Sarah, right? Can we get some ice cream? Sarah's like, sure, right? I don't know how she has money. But she walks up to the ice cream guy, right? And then
how does anybody have money? How does Spider-Man have money?
Yeah.
These damage control vans, they swarm her, right? So she's using her mind powers to hold Jean back and make her go the other way so she doesn't get caught, too. Correct. It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
So it's trauma. Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's the reason why she was doing what she was doing. I don't think it was her intention to actually hurt or kill people. She just needed some answers
She wanted to
as to
find
what
her.
happened to her sister.
She
Exactly,
did
to-
back that guy into a taxi.
Well, okay.
She also
Collateral
shot those
damage.
damage control guards.
I hear you, Keith. I understand what you're saying. She was portrayed as the villain because we were talking about, okay, well, who is the villain in this movie?
Yeah.
Well, it was her to a point, but then when we realized the story as to why she's doing what she's doing,
Yes.
it's the love of her sister, and she wants to find out what happened to her sister. And really, the villain is actually the Department of Damage Control.
The Richard Metzger. The Richard Metzger
Yes.
is the villain in this.
Yes,
Because,
he is absolutely the villain. Yep.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he lied to Peter when she said Sarah, and he told Spider-Man, said, yeah, that was I was thinking of something else, and that's what. But we find out that that no, once Jean Grey inhabits you, you forget everything. Yes,
just like that.
To the people commenting on our live stream, yes, in the comic books, Jean Grey had a sister, Sarah. She didn't have a big role in the X-Men, but she did have a sister. They retconned their origin story for this movie specifically,
which they always do.
Yeah, but they always do. I wanted to get back to
she got her powers completely differently.
They were looking for she was looking for VMAX. What's VMAX? And we found out eventually what VMAX was. Can I tell you what I thought it was originally when they were looking for VMAX?
Tell us.
I thought the V was for Venom. I thought they were finally going to address the part of Venom that was stuck here when Eddie Brock got zapped into, from at the end of No Way Home, that it's still here.
That's a great
So that's why, and when they mentioned Jean DeWolf, and longtime Spider-Man comic book fans know that Jean DeWolf is connected to Venom, that's where I thought they were going. But we found out, heartbreakingly so, that VMAX was just the last thing her sister saw before she died, before she was tortured to death for being a mutant. It was the VMAX, the air conditioner, the unit above her head. But so
shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a shame. And the mutant saga is what's going to be the next after Secret Wars. And I believe and because we've seen mutants, Ms. Marvel and Namor, Wonder Man, that I believe, and here's my last theory, and I swear to God it's my last one, that these mutant genes became expressive after the many snaps. Remember, there were 3 snaps. Yes.
I said that when Rocket showed that. He said when Thanos did the snap, then there was a powerful thing that covered the Earth. And it changed things. It mutated things. And it mutated people. So there might have been a small factor of mutants, but that changed everything. And the other thing you're going to find is when you watch Falcon and Captain America, the Captain America Falcon movie, that the Celestial that was killed and is frozen in the ocean, they're going to get vibranium off of him. That's why all the countries want it, because it's vibranium.
It was adamantium.
Yeah, you're right. It was adamantium.
Oh, it was adamantium. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's what's going to cause the events that will turn Logan into Wolverine. And the other thing is that just to throw it out there, if you guys watched any clips from San Diego Comic-Con and Deadpool was in his gray uniform, that's his X-Force uniform. And Wolverine has a uniform just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So very nice.
So I think we're going to get an X-Force, and that's how you're going to keep Hugh Jackman. They're going to be off.
Oh,
not
so
part
cool,
of the X-Men world.
Fire, that's fire.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, right? Yeah. So you remember the Inhumans, right? They were trying to back when the rights battle was going on for the X-Men, they were trying to launch in the Inhumans as the replacement for the X-Men. There was this Lego Marvel game that came out and they removed the X-Men and put the Inhumans in. It was propaganda essentially, right? So the way the Inhumans work was there's this Terrigen mist, right? That was
Mhm.
just kind of flowing around. And then if you were an Inhuman, it would like unlock the Inhuman genes, right? And then you get your powers. So the theory that the snap is doing that, which I think is pretty reasonable and pretty cool, that would make sense. So it's interesting to me how the replacement for the X-Men is kind of getting folded into the X-Men, like how they
But I
they
don't think
switched
that
Miss
was
Marvel to a
Terrigen
mutant.
Mist. I don't think that was Terrigen Mist.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Well, I'm not saying it is. It's like a similar kind of thing, you know?
No,
Yeah.
I understand that. And in the comic book, Black Bolt at one point released the Terrigen Mist all over the world. And all these people started, because when the Terrigen Mist, when you go through that, you change. That's like if you know Lockjaw, the dog in the Inhumans, that's not a dog. That's a guy. That
Yeah.
after going through the Terrigen Mist, he
Turned
came
into a dog.
he came out to look like a dog.
Gotcha. All right.
Did they retcon that, or has that always been the case? Because that's horrifying.
Started in Fantastic Four.
There it is.
They were the Inhumans were in where was it? It was
In the
in
dark.
the Himalayas or somewhere.
Yeah.
It was a hidden city.
So will we call Black Bolt the villain?
No.
No.
You be calling everybody villains, man, dude.
All right.
Hey, you're wearing a black shirt, so are you a villain?
No.
You got a stormtrooper on your shirt. Are you a villain?
That's the Mandalorian.
Okay.
That's my dog right there.
Yeah, well, he's
He
a villain.
kills people.
He's
Is
a
he a
villain.
villain?
He's a villain.
No.
Definitely a
He's a
villain.
bounty hunter.
He's not a villain because I like him.
Well, he either brings them in warm or he brings them in cold. So
Yes.
he could be one or the other.
Yeah.
He's a villain.
I'm pretty sure he hunts criminals too.
Okay.
Just like the Punisher, who's not a villain.
Favorite
Go ahead.
action sequences.
Punisher is about the level of violence, right?
That's
Mando
my
just
fault.
put you in carbonite, one and done, right? But Punisher, he was getting into detail with it, man. You should have seen it.
Yeah, well,
Actually, you shouldn't have, but
okay. Look, Punisher.
Yes.
Did he overreact at the end when he thought the only way to take out Jean Grey was to, be this sharpshooter on the roof? And was he overreacting?
Oh, I don't
or
know
you
if
think
you
that
knew
was
this, but in the Punisher show,
Yeah.
There's this one scene where he shot a guy across the U.S. border into Mexico. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, he's very good at what he does, but was that the answer?
What he does isn't very nice.
No.
Yeah, but
I think he
was
was
that the
pretty
answer?
pissed that she was in his head.
I would be too.
But
Okay.
no,
All right.
no, that was Frank was doing what Frank does. That was his way to deal with the threat. Was to take her out.
Yeah.
Yes. He not without even knowing that Peter was going to save her at the last minute. That's why he was so distraught. So yeah. Do I think it was overreaction? Yes, but that's what Frank does.
Yeah.
He sees a threat and you eliminate it.
Yeah, I understand it, but I don't justify it. You know what
Correct.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I would have just put her in jail, probably a life sentence.
How can you put her in jail when you
Yeah,
can't even get to her? She's got the whole
She's so
city
powerful.
on lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you should have let damage control keep her.
No, I don't mean damage control. I mean let the U.S. Department of Corrections.
No, but they're going to ban the damage control.
They're
I think damage control has some bigger issues right now, like rebuilding and rehiring. But
but if they would have just given her the damage control, they would have been like, well, damage control will take care of
and
this
you
stuff.
see with damage control. Go ahead.
I think Peter would tell people about the whole damage control thing, right? Because I don't think Peter would just let them continue. I kind of wish they got into the J. Jonah Jameson stuff. I know this movie is 2.5 hours, right? But it would have been nice if we saw a way Peter could put damage control on blast, to let people know that they're torturing mutants just for having powers.
But
I'm sure Karen Page will get right on that.
I think this is the second time Peter has kind of dealt with damage control, because wasn't the Vulture stealing stuff from damage control?
Yes,
and third, because damage control was prosecuting him in No Way Home.
The damage control was
good point.
They were in charge of cleaning up after superhuman battles, and what Vulture's crew was doing was
Right.
mining the alien tech. And I still think a lot of it is around, which is what the Hand was using a lot. The
Yeah, they
sonic
had the
dampeners
shocker.
and stuff.
They had the shocker stuff too.
If Peter, first of all, Peter couldn't have said anything about damage control. Even if he did, he'd be in the minority, because now we understand how damage control, who was funded, that was started, co-founded by Tony Stark, by the way, he was a hero. So damage control is now hunting mutants. And here's another incident that happened in New York. How many hundreds of thousands of people were affected by this mutant? So damage control said, well, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again, New York, because we're going to hunt down all mutants. So yay, go get them. And remember,
Jean Grey kind of set her people back a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to get stronger.
But remember, Keith, we're also in the aftermath of the Wilson Fisk reign, where he was hunting heroes too. And there's, if sharp-eyed viewers look, there were some Fisk paraphernalia in some of the street scenes in Spider-Man: Homecoming. So there's already a bias against heroes in New York. So with damage control, they have the popular vote. You're going to get rid of heroes and make sure that doesn't happen again, dude. I'm with you.
We've already seen that. We've already seen that in the other movie with Mysterio. Remember the coach and the high school was like, "I know you did it. I know you did it."
Yeah. So we're going to the mutant saga starts here. But to answer your question, you asked 20 minutes ago, was that excessive? Yes, but that's Sam was like, Frank was like, this is the only way we're going to stop this, takeover from happening. I got to put her down.
All right, gotcha. All right, let's jump into our favorite action sequences. This was an exciting film. There was a lot to see, a lot to cheer for, root for. So, Rob, let's start with you. Anything stood out for you? Any exciting moments?
I really felt when I saw the Hulk, fight, and they were fighting the Hulk, that brought the kid in the comic book back to me. And it was the same kind of sensation I had in the first Avengers movie with the whole panoramic thing when they were all fighting. That Hulk, Punisher, Spider-Man, that was my favorite part of the movie.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And he was amazing. Like dragging Punisher across the floor.
Yeah.
That was great.
And it was done in slow motion. That's the way you do a slow motion action sequence. I was gonna bring up his name, but there you go. Okay, we
all know who we're talking about.
Well, maybe, but I'm not a fan of other filmmakers who do these, slow motion action sequences.
It starts with a Z and ends with Zack Snyder.
Okay, all right.
No hate to Zack Snyder, by the way. You just gotta master the slow motion.
Any favorite?
Be like me.
Exciting moments in the movie.
My favorite moments were the beginning, the montage, and we talked about it. Rob and I talked about it on our podcast. The many Spider-Man comic book covers that were reenacted in the opening scene. When the gangster got thrown off the roof and Spider-Man swung and grabbed him, that was from the cover of the very first appearance of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 15. When Spider-Man was the guy had rammed his head in the wall and Spider-Man jumped over him. That was Ramrod. We saw
I thought it was Hammerhead.
No, it was Ramrod. Hammerhead was a gangster, wore a suit. When
and a flat top head that used to smash into the walls.
Stop! I'll get to it. When Tombstone was holding Spider-Man by his hand, by his head, played by the great William Gray, that was from the comic book. Those sequences, but probably my favorite would be the final battle scene where the eyes went black and Spider-Man took out the hand. In the trailer, it looked like they were in jail, so I was hoping that would mean that Peter went to visit Matt Murdock in jail because the Hand are Daredevil villains. But yeah, the final battle between Spider-Man and the Hand, epic filmmaking, epic action sequences. There was more action. There was more Spider-Man in this than ever. Obviously,
I
the
loved it.
Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Hulk battle was never saw that on screen before. I've read it in comics so many times, but in the movies, just primo.
I have to say this because I gotta say it before we run out of time. Craig doesn't agree with me, and I don't care if anybody agrees with me. When Spider-Man went into damage control, and he went and he sat in the office, right, with the guy, it just reminded me of the Adam West Batman going into Commissioner Gordon's office. It was just the vibe I got
in his costume.
So, means nothing for the movie, but it was just like when I saw that scene, that's what I thought.
Where's that voice coming from?
Yeah.
What voice?
All right. Yeah. So, what do you have a favorite action sequence?
I would probably say.
Well, you said it was the one with the Hulk and Punisher
Yeah.
and Spidey. Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was good.
Spider-Man was really webbing him up, man.
Okay. What about
I genuinely thought Hulk was gonna die, right? But you know that scene where he's like hanging on, he's got all the debris pulling down, he let go. I thought he was gonna fall and die from the way they shot that.
You thought
Really?
Hulk was gonna die in this film?
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just weak-minded, but I thought that was gonna be a wrap on Hulk.
From a fall from a building.
We are on the road to the Maestro.
He's
I don't
got
know
to be.
about that. World War Hulk, maybe.
He's got to be in Secret Wars.
No, they won't. They won't do World War Hulk because they already did Gladiator Hulk. That storyline was already done. They're not going to do it again.
Planet
So,
Hulk. Yeah,
we're not going to get that. But what we're going to get is the road to the Maestro, and I can't wait for that. That'll be one of the big bad villains. Maestro will be a villain.
Just because you think I'm loosey-goosey with the definition of villain, okay?
It's very hard.
Gene's a villain.
It's difficult because
Maestro is a villain.
Yep, I agree on that one.
Villains are very complicated nowadays, right? Because they don't see themselves as the villain. So
Yeah.
it's hard to know. But if you're destroying the lives of innocent people, then obviously
Yes,
okay,
and
if you're
villain.
killing
you
them
have to be
too.
stopped. Yes. Yeah. But look, the hand.
Yes.
That scene, that moment in
That was
prison
sick, man.
was amazing. I mean, I just saw Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It looked wonderful. I mean, the choreography and that's a movie that you'll have to see.
What they did with the hand here was way better than Daredevil season 2.
Absolutely.
Well, you see what you can do. Yeah, well, you see what you can do with a budget. See, there's a difference between a Netflix budget and a Sony Marvel budget.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you.
that's why they
Well, I
handle.
don't know, man. Maybe we could redo the hand.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
think they're fine out with it, how they are, and they've.
I think they're cool, man.
They are cool, but they're villains.
But they're villains.
How interesting it was that Mesker hired the hand to work for
They're reformed.
See that coming.
They were reformed. No,
Okay.
I might just be out my mind.
Yeah,
I really thought that they were in prison looking for Daredevil.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people felt that.
That's what.
way.
Yeah, and
Craig thought the same thing.
Yeah, the trailer is because of all the bars, but now we know that they were in damage control. And I believe that's part of the alien tech that damage control has been salvaging from the first Battle of New York with the with the monsters coming that were from outer space. That's how they control the hand. And the same type of inhibitors that they use they used on Jean Grey's sister and they used on Jean Grey. That's how they control the hand. Now, last hand mention. In Daredevil season 3, Daredevil Born Again season 3, we will get the return of Elektra. And Elektra.
Oh, you're spoiling it. You're spoiling it.
No, it's okay. It's fine. We
Sorry.
know that.
Okay.
Pictures,
know
the pictures are out there on the
Yeah.
internet.
Unfortunately, I wish I wish I didn't know either, but I do. Which is why I'm saying when Elektra comes back, she's associated with the Hand, so you may see more Hand soon.
All
As
right.
long as they're good, I'm down for it. You know,
They're always
I
good.
wasn't a big fan of Elektra in season 2 or Defenders, but you know, I don't hate her. I think it'd be cool
Or
to see
her solo movie.
Well, that's a different version.
But you weren't a fan.
I haven't seen the movie.
Really?
Speaking of,
I didn't even know she had a solo movie.
Yeah, you know Ben Affleck. Yeah, they gave.
Yeah, but
they gave
Jennifer
her
Garner.
Elektra. So
you're kidding.
I'm not.
I missed it.
Yeah.
You missed Elektra?
I missed it.
It
That
came
was one of
right-
the biggest movies. That was one of the movies of all time, man.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
It really wasn't. But at the end of Daredevil, they set up Elektra, and a year later, Elektra came out, and it was forgettable. So Jennifer Garner was
05.
Elektra.
Which is why Jennifer Gardner was in the Deadpool movie as Elektra.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of movies that we saw before, and this last point, I'll turn it over to you. The last scene with the Hand was very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but Jean Grey jumping from person to person was almost shot for shot from a movie shot here in Philadelphia called Fallen, starring Denzel Washington. Came out in
Soon to be
1998.
leaving Netflix, so if you haven't seen it,
But
That's wicked, isn't it?
a man died in an electric chair, but his soul inhabited someone else, and he would and the spirit, once you touch someone, so you're walking down a crowded street, you can touch someone, and that someone touches someone back. So there's this shot where Denzel's just talking to someone, and then somebody else walks by, and then they're over here, and then it goes from person to person, and that was shot for shot.
But they had to
what
touch.
Jean Grey did. It wasn't
They had to
jumping,
touch.
but had to from touch.
Okay. All right. I've seen that movie. I don't remember it all that much, but okay, I'll have to look out for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
All right.
I wonder what Jean Grey would think of Stray Kids.
Okay. All right.
That's
So
completely unrelated. That just popped
this-
into my head. You know what I'm saying?
this movie was a juggernaut this weekend. So it
$1 billion.
actually 300
Supergirl's crying in the quarter.
Supergirl is already streaming.
Boy.
Okay, so
Okay.
domestically, right? Brand New Day made 3 times what Supergirl made worldwide.
Do we have to say this? Like,
We don't.
can we? Supergirl is already down. Can we
Yeah.
not
We-
kick
Look,
her
I'll be
off?
honest with you. I don't even hate Supergirl, right?
Okay.
I feel bad for everything that happened to Supergirl, right? But
Shouldn't we just
saying,
shoot
right?
it? Shouldn't we just shoot it in the head and put it out of its misery?
Oh, okay.
That's wicked.
$360 million, the biggest opening in North America ever.
Yes,
It
ever.
actually beat Avengers Endgame.
I didn't see
Mhm.
that coming.
Yes.
I
I
was
did.
thinking like 250.
Yeah, $360 million.
I was lowballing. this
And
one.
right now it's at $932 million worldwide. It's going to make $1 billion in the next 2 days. I don't know.
Let's just say $1 billion now and be presumptive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It doesn't beat Avengers Endgame because I think they did it in 5 days where they made $1.22 billion.
Yeah.
Endgame.
I mean,
So,
it's a
that's
solo
amazing.
Spider-Man film, so the fact that it's getting close is
Yeah.
wicked, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, remember
So-
something. When Doomsday comes out, they're re-releasing Endgame. So now that budget on Endgame, that money will go up.
That's a good point. That's right. I keep forgetting.
Well,
that.
I don't think that's legal. I don't think they're allowed to.
Well, they
I
can
don't think
count
they're
that.
allowed to stack their release times.
They can count that.
Well,
yeah.
this is like an extended cut, right?
Yes.
So you
Yes,
wouldn't.
It doesn't
They-
matter. It's the same movie.
It does
No, but
count, yeah.
they've added
Added
10. Yeah, Endgame
That's
that
not
will be
fair.
the Endgame that's going to be released in September has 10 minutes of added footage. Whether or not
I mean,
that
you
was
wouldn't
footage
count.
that was
You
already
wouldn't
shot
count Snyder's-
or this is new stuff, I don't know.
You wouldn't count Snyder's Justice
Okay, why
League and
you bring-
Whedon's
okay,
Justice League
see.
as the same film,
See,
right?
You're
You know
also
what I'm
going
saying?
to leave Zack Snyder alone.
I just think it's a little bit
He
interesting.
didn't do anything
that-
to you
I don't
personally.
even hate Zack Snyder. I'm just saying you
Okay,
wouldn't
but you-
stack the revenue.
You brought up his name.
I don't know how that's allowed, right?
all
Because
right.
Endgame is like what, top 20?
We are not DC haters here.
Yeah,
So,
I want
by
to be
the
clear.
way,
I love
you
DC.
know,
You know, if you say
Snyder,
his
we're
name
buddies.
3
You know
times,
me.
he'll appear.
yeah, we're looking forward
You know
to.
me, Zach. We're best friends.
We're
yeah?
looking forward to the Lanterns. So
We are?
Yes, we absolutely. I think.
2 weeks.
I'm kidding. I am
Yeah.
excited for Lanterns, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to make that clear. I have my doubts. My doubts are gone.
Okay.
So,
All right. So let's
check
wrap,
back in a couple weeks.
gentlemen. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Brand New Day. What do you know? If
Woof,
somebody
we
is
could have
on the
to
fence, they don't know if they should see this movie or not. What do you say to them?
See it.
Best one yet.
Craig.
See it.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
I particularly like to see these types of movies with someone who has no frame of reference, who's never picked up a comic book or has never seen a superhero film. You get someone like that engaged in it, and it's the best feeling ever because they're watching something that they're already they'll be a part of by the end of it. Yeah, I say it after every Spider-Man film. This is the best Spider-Man movie of all time, and I'm right once again.
Yeah. Keith.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to put this above Far From Home in my top 4.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I don't have a ranking for it yet.
I'll tell you what I'm putting at
But
the bottom.
yeah,
I think yours would probably be like Far From Home, Homecoming, No Way Home, and then Brand New Day.
no. This is better than Homecoming.
Yeah, I said Far From Home, Homecoming,
So
No Way
Far
Home,
From
Brand
Home
New
would
Day.
be, or am I going
Far
from
From Home is at the bottom. It's bottom to top.
No,
man.
that's you.
No, this is bottom to top.
Bottom to top?
Yeah, like 4 to 1.
No Way Home is at the top for me. Stop it.
You're a loyalist.
No, stop it.
Okay,
because
fine.
You don't like
so
the movie.
Far From Home, Homecoming, Brand New Day, No Way Home.
Yeah, something like that.
Ah!
Right. I think I give No Way Home the edge over Brand New Day, but I need to see it again. So I'm going to watch it again.
Falsehoods, everyone.
Yeah, but it is still Tom Holland's best performance. I definitely agree with that.
Totally agree. Fantastic.
I don't know what it is about Spider-Man, but it just brings people of all diverse backgrounds.
It puts a smile on my face.
You know, something about this character that just speaks to all of us because Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is just like us. You know what I mean? Like he
Peter
feels
Parker, that's my guy.
He feels grounded, you know, and we feel his pain. Like he goes to, you know, there is anybody else in the world who goes through these highs and lows as he does.
Yeah,
and he goes through so many lows, but he still gets back up.
Peter Parker might be one of the most inspirational superheroes of all time.
I like that. Absolutely. I agree with that.
I think that's why so many people love him.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to anywhere in the world and I say, y'all know Spider-Man, they'd be like, yeah, man, we love Spider-Man over here. You know?
Anywhere in the world you go. Yeah. So
and if I don't get that response, I'm just going to drop off some Spider-Man comics to him and they'll love him.
Hey, absolutely.
You're saying exactly what Stan Lee said when he helped create the character with him and Steve Ditko. You know, at the time when Spider-Man came out, superheroes either came from another planet or for rich millionaire playboys or got their powers from some type of alien technology. He wanted a character that could be anyone. And it was a Peter Parker, a high school student who has the same problems as anyone else. He's broke. He needs a job, or he has a job that doesn't pay him very well. He's got to take care of his sick aunt. Something that everyone can relate to, which is why
a regular guy.
Exactly, and that's why it resonates with so many people for 65 years, because that's who it is. And Tom Holland embodies this character, and no shaded Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, but Tom Holland is a perfect Spider-Man. He's the Ben Affleck of Spider-Man for me.
You mean like Ben Affleck Batman, right?
Keith,
Not Daredevil.
Let it go, Keith.
I just wanted to know. You mean Ben Affleck Batman?
I meant Ben Affleck Batman. Yes, Keith. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Very good.
Just had to be sure.
All right. Anything else we want to say about the movie, Rob? Anything you want to add?
No, I loved it.
Close?
That's it.
Yeah.
Go see it. Go see it 10 times. You'll love it.
Yeah, they need the money. Go see it again.
Right.
Yeah, I might put this up there with Daredevil season 3.
Okay.
I think Tom and Zendaya need to hire more people to work on their house. So give them more money.
Yeah. I bet you Tom and Zendaya are just at home counting their dollar bills. Just chilling.
Yeah. And
wow.
They're
and Tom Holland is in the Odyssey, and the Odyssey is doing great too.
And Zendaya and John Bernthal.
All after this, doing.
Yeah, and
As we all know, we're best friends.
Yeah, and John Bernthal and Zendaya are also in the Odyssey, so those three guys are doing very well together.
Everybody's banking it.
Yes.
Did y'all hear the 70mm screens at our local theater broke?
No.
Yeah, well, Yeah, King of
Yeah,
Prussia.
King of Prussia.
They're aware. Yeah.
The 70 millimeter broke. That's gotta hurt, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'm glad
it's-
it broke after we saw it, because that's where Rob and I saw Spider-Man. It's on IMAX, King
Really?
of Prussia. So
You know, somebody called me and they said they saw this movie in that 4DX. That's where the chairs shake and everything.
yeah.
And she told me she hated it because her head kept banging on the back of the chair.
Yeah.
And I said,
I'm not a fan of 4DX.
I'm not down with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
So our theater, right, is like top of the line, right? So they let you, all the chairs have vibrations as far as I know. So they let you turn it down or up depending on the movie. So you get in a 4DX experience no matter what, right? But you could choose the intensity. You could get it to like 0, 25, like 50, 100. So, you know, you can pick and choose. They don't make you sit there.
I don't think everybody knows that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I don't think everybody knows that.
I mean, if you pay for 4DX, I think the expectation is that you want to move, right? So I don't know if they have switches there, but my theater has them because they offer it with the regular showings.
Gotcha.
Got it.
I didn't know that.
Okay. All right. So it looks like we'll meet again maybe in August after the lanterns drop.
Yeah, totally.
We'll talk about it. All right. Thank you so much.
Hey, we should meet after Clayface.
Okay.
Yeah, in
I don't know what
October.
Clayface. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
That's
Okay.
October.
October 25th.
That is October. We got a little ways to go.
Yeah,
So-
we'll just meet twice.
Hey,
How about that?
absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much. As always. This is
Thank
always
you.
a fun, always a pleasure. Thank you. Please tell us where people can find you.
They can find us at Comic Book Gurus Podcast, or our Comic Book Gurus Podcast Facebook page. Please give us a follow. We're up to 23,000 followers, but we can always use more.
Nice.
You can check us out on our Twitter page at Comic Book Gurus. Also, our old episodes or video episodes, you can find us on Comic Book Gurus Podcast and our YouTube channel. And we're on every Saturday afternoon on WWDB 860 AM on your AM dial every Saturday afternoon for our own Comic Book Gurus radio show.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, I know we have some people in the chat. So before is there anyone we want to address in the chat, Hun? No? Okay, good.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. Thank you. All right, Keith. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're Father.Son.Galaxy. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok.
Yeah.
We're all of your audio
Father.Son.Galaxy.
streaming platforms. So thank you so much, everyone. Like I said, this was a big one. We had to do this live. So thank you if you're watching or if you're going to listen to it or watch it later. Thank you.
BND
Thank you.
stream.
All right. Okay.
Thanks
so that's
for
it,
having us.
everyone. That is our spoiler review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's finally here. Okay. But look, the year is not over. We still got some more superheroes coming up. All right. Coming our way. So we're on the road.
Favorite superhero.
We're on the road
The
to
Lanterns. And I meant that
Avengers.
one.
We're on the road to Avengers Doomsday. All right. Thank you, everyone. So until next time, take care.
See ya. Yeah.
And we'll see you again.
Jean Grey's a villain.
No.